I'm Casey Putsch and welcome to my garage. All right, we got on the wall here a bunch of good memories from the days of Genius Garage and a lot of builds gone by. This is a 1967 Morgan +4 drop head coupe, which is a very long name because it's a very fancy car. Morgan Motor Company is very famous for being the only car company in history that is still owned by the same original family for over 100 years. And this particular car was exceptionally rare. I think they only made maybe a dozen in that year, but it was the fancier version. More luxurious, and this was also donated to the Genius Garage educational programs, and it's a great opportunity to teach young people craftsmanship of days gone by. So this is a 1986 Formula Continental made by the Argo company in England. It's one of only a couple of these cars that made it to the United States, and this is kind of an entry-level, mid-level Formula racing car. It's powered by a 2-liter Ford 4-cylinder engine with single overhead camshaft. It's a spec series, tube frame, smaller wings, but just a really charming car that I enjoyed having on my channel and showing people. Yeah, even built full scale, flying, stopped with Campbell World War I biplanes with students one year, so that was awesome. And you see a lot of other things happening. Project Cheapo, the kart racing, my new race car from Top Car, really excited about that. And it's just jam-packed with stuff and memories, you guys. So this is just the taste. This here is where the magic begins. So this is my own Megacar. Long story short, I got an idea that cars are produced badly, and I wanted to make something that would be more sustainably recyclable for mass producing of cars. So this is what I built. It's a secret concoction of my own engineering and materials, but this one's powered by turbo diesel and gets 0 to 60 right in about 4.5 seconds, but over 100 miles to the gallon non-hybrid. This is the 1989 IMSA GTO Corvette and has a 2-frame chassis built by Riggins in the day. So raced in IMSA SCCA GT1, and this car belongs to Genius Garage. So there are a bunch of years of amazing memories with students doing engineering work, research and development, winning races, and helping launch their careers at Genius Garage. This is the 1997 Raynard Indy car that also belongs to Genius Garage. This is a Starcross Wild machine and actually was the very first Genius Garage build. Back in the period, it was driven by Mauricio Gugelmin for the Pac West team and a formidable machine. And right now it's being torn apart because the engine that was recently out of it and blown up is gone. And the students are reconfiguring and re-engineering the monocoque to use a Honda K-Series motor. So this is my 900-pound, 200-horsepower Jungle Gym. It's a mid-engine, street-legal sand rail, and this particular one has got an original air-cooled Volkswagen engine. Of course, it's super hot. It's got 2 downdraft Weber carburetors, and it's in the mid-engine configuration, not rear engine. So this thing's insane. You can take it off-road, drift around like a lunatic, and it'll beat most Lamborghini 0 to 60. So this sweetheart is a 1988 Porsche 944S, and actually a very nice gentleman recently donated this to the Genius Garage educational programs. So I'm really excited about it. We're gonna do a full tune-up with the students to let them actually have the opportunity to be mentored on that. I'm gonna give my KW coil-over suspension for the project as well. So I'm just excited to give the opportunity for the students to be able to work on a car like this. So this is my infamous 1997 Dodge Viper GTS coupe. I've had this car for a very long time, made a lot of great memories. It's been seen on VinWiki, Petrolicious, of course my own channel. Really a daily driver, bought it with 19,000 miles. It currently has right about 100,000 miles. And this is the car that in the VinWiki story famously, some idiot decided to try to blaze across 5 lanes of traffic where they were only legally able to turn right. And even in normal driving in traffic, it ended up getting totaled. Went away, then a guy was working on it. I ended up buying it back, fixed it up, plan to keep it forever and just drive it and drive it. So this is a C4 Corvette, but more specifically, it's actually prepared as a full road racing car. Still has its title, so I can put a license plate on it, and it's kind of civilized. But it's got SCCA logbook, vintage racing logbook. So I just got it, given it some love, had a little bit of low oil pressure when I got it, but actually going to be racing this with NASA starting next week. So I'm really happy about that. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's got 2 seats. So I'll actually be able to give some rides to people around the racetrack. Okay guys, so this is a Tomate Prototypo race car. In the 1990s, it ran in a series in South America, and it was actually engineered and built in Mexico. It's a full carbon fiber monocoque, all carbon fiber body, makes a heck of a lot of downforce. This thing weighs right under 1,100 pounds and makes 257 horsepower, so it's actually a rocket ship on the track. This particular one belongs to Genius Garage, and it's just one heck of a neat piece of history. This is the King Zero V12 supercar. Long story short, it's something that I was inspired by as a kid, seeing the Italian prototypes of the 1970s. So I took the love from a prototype back then, very avant-garde one, and then scaled it up a little bit and built what I would consider to be the production supercar version of that one-off prototype. This particular one is powered by a BMW M70 V12 engine that's mounted mid-engine to a Porsche transaxle and is the lowest car I've ever had. It's actually 2 or 3 inches lower than an original GT40. So this is the wild and infamous F1 hot rod. I had a gentleman come to me that wanted to have a street legal Formula 1 car, which is insane, my kind of insane. So got a collection of different racing parts from the time period, early 90s, from IndyCar and whatnot, and we're totally custom building the space frame and everything in the rear to actually make it Hayabusa powered. So this is one awesome hot rod. The monster hanging from the ceiling is legit, the world's only full-scale flying Pterosaur model. So breaking that down, it has a 38-foot wingspan, which makes it bigger than most civil aircraft. Built it with loads of materials, including carbon fiber, steel, and materials from the sailing racing industry for the wing membranes. And yeah, you can actually fly it, strapped to the back of the truck, and it's pretty crazy. This is the infamous BD5 Micro jet. It's an actual flyable aircraft that's very famous for its role in the James Bond movie Octopussy with Roger Moore. Well, it's a real airplane, and we've got an identical one here with Gina's garage that was built by one of the students. It was a very interesting aircraft of the early 70s. So we got some cool engines sitting around. Behind me is the Generation 2 Dodge Viper 8-liter V10 that I'm going to be using in my Jabberwock build. Building the Viper GTP car that never got to happen with original factory bodywork from the Nissan GTP car. We also have a Hayabusa engine that was donated to Gina's garage to potentially use for the IndyCar build. There's the Honda K-Series in here, as well as this mighty and insane pushrod Chevy derivative V8. It's got 11-degree heads, a lot of compression, individual throttle bodies and EFI, and makes over 900 horsepower. That is when it's not blown up like it is right now. All right, you guys, you've seen my garage, and that is it for now. These are the builds going on and the adventures that are yet to come, like this top part when I get engines and tires. So you totally should come back for that.